What's up guys, it's Miles here with Sendo Sports. In this video I'm going to be talking about my favorite team, the Utah Jazz. Now, I'm not a super fan of Utah Jazz, but if Carmelo Anthony's not in the league, they're definitely the team I'm rooting for. And this year, they are serious contenders, honestly. Now, I'm going to start off with the negative of what they had to give up. So first off, two key role players in Jay Crowder and Kyle Korver. Jay Crowder, a 3-and-D specialist who was a rough rider who grabbed rebounds. And Kyle Korver, everybody knows him, a three-point specialist. They had to give him up for the Mike Conley trade. And also, Ricky Rubio and Derek Favors, two fan favorites. Rubio is with the Suns, and Derek Favors is with the New Orleans Pelicans and Zion. And Grayson Allen was also a part of the deal to grab Mike Conley, but he didn't really play that many games in the NBA. He was moved down to the G League, so I didn't feel the need to really mention him that much. But the first major positive the Utah Jazz have had this summer is picking up Mike Conley via trade, one of the most underrated point guards in the league. He's a veteran with a lot of experience. Last season, he averaged 21 points, 3 rebounds, 6 assists. Not shooting that well from the field or three-point line, but shot 84% from the free throw line. And all around a 21.4 PER. So this guy is definitely a great addition. He can help mentor Donovan Mitchell. Now, the second biggest pickup they had this summer was Bojan Bogdanovic, who is, again, another majorly underrated player in the league. One of the best perimeter players right now. He's very under the radar, averaging 18 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, shooting almost 50% from the field and 42.5% from the three-point line. So with him and Joe Ingles in the game at the same time, they are going to be so hard to stop. You're not going to be able to help with anybody, and he's also not that bad of a defender. Now, moving on to another pickup they had was veteran Jeff Green. Now, he played with LeBron. That's how most people know him, just because his most recent year in Cleveland. But looking at his stat line, he had a really good season this year due to some injuries on the Washington team, so he had a lot of opportunity. Averaging 12 points, 4 rebounds, and almost 2 assists off of 88.8% free throw shooting, so he's a major pickup for them off the bench. And another big pickup is Ed Davis from Brooklyn. Now, I did hear a lot about him this season. I did watch a good amount of Brooklyn games. He averaged 6 points, almost 9 rebounds, 1 assist, and shot 62% from the field. Those are incredible numbers, very, very efficient. Now, he did say that him and Jeff Green in their interview joined the team because it's a team that has a chance to contend for a title. This is from the Salt Lake Tribune, which is right there in Salt Lake City, Utah. So I agree with them, and just let's look at the rest of this team. Now, I already mentioned them earlier, Donovan Mitchell and Joe Ingles. Joe Ingles is going to be able to stretch the floor out. He's a solid defender. Donovan Mitchell, probably the best player out of that draft class with Jason Tatum, Lonzo, and De'Aaron Fox. Then we're looking at Rudy Gobert, one of the best big men, really true big men in the league now. Can't space the floor, but he's great on defense and grabbing boards. And then Royce O'Neal is very overlooked. He's not a popular name that a lot of people know about, but over this past year, he's been able to develop his perimeter shot, and he's been able to consistently knock down open shots. So I think he'll play a pretty decent role this year, definitely if an injury was to happen to one of their wings. Of course, I hope that doesn't happen, but at least he's there, and he's going to provide a great presence off the bench. He can come in and score. Now, for this Utah Jazz team, they're in a loaded West. Everybody knows this. You have the Denver Nuggets, the Los Angeles Clippers, the Los Angeles Lakers. The Golden State Warriors are still going to be around. The Portland Trailblazers, the Houston Rockets. There's just so many good teams. But Utah's in that category of teams, along with, I would put, Denver and the Clippers, of teams that have really good depth and they can go far. And I would even throw the Spurs in that category. Teams that just have really good all-around depth. And I think that's going to help them against teams such as the Lakers and Rockets, teams that are going to have to put in younger players or players that are on smaller contracts just because they don't have that many great players. Now, of course, if you're a Lakers fan, you're saying, oh, we just filled out our roster. We're great. Okay. And if you're a Houston Rockets fan, you know Westbrook and Harden are going to be getting a triple-double every game, so you're not worried about anything, are you? But the Utah Jazz are truly a top-to-bottom team, and some people have even labeled them as a big three with Mike Conley, Donovan Mitchell, and Rudy Gobert. But I honestly don't believe that just because Mike Conley is in a later stage in his career. Donovan Mitchell isn't fully developed yet, and Rudy Gobert is probably the only true all-star right now on that team. But I wouldn't want to label them as a three-star team just because they have so much depth and so many players that can do one specific thing. They have a lot of niche guys on that team, which means guys that are really good at doing a specific task. Like Bogdanovich and Joe Ingles are both going to hit perimeter shots and play perimeter defense, and they're not really going to do much more. They're not going to take the ball away from Mike Conley and Donovan Mitchell. They don't need the ball in their hand to succeed. Rudy Gobert, he's going to play defense, and he's going to grab boards. He knows his role. Ed Davis, he's going to grab boards. He's going to set some picks. He's going to get wide open shots down low. That's what he's going to do. Jeff Green, he's going to play defense and get open shots. That's what he's going to do. So everybody has a well-defined role here. Something that you don't see a lot in this league right now. See a lot of teams that are just taking stars and saying, hey, these two guys are great. Westbrook and Harden are an example. Look at OKC a few years ago with Melo, Westbrook, and Paul George. These guys are great. They're going to work together. And that doesn't always work out. And I just feel like Utah has really thought out where every player fits. And the only problem I can see right now is Mike Conley and Donovan Mitchell, how they're going to coexist. I don't think chemistry issues is going to be any problem because Mike Conley is a great team player, and so is Donovan Mitchell. So I don't think it's actually a chemistry issue. It's just both of those guys are really good with the ball in their hands. So how are they going to work without the ball in their hands? Now, both of them are like average three-point shooters, but neither of them are really snipers. They're not like your Currys, Damian Lillards, and CP3s. They're not going to be that major of a threat. You can't leave them wide open, but again, you can kind of sag off. So it just all depends on how those two work out. But if this team stays healthy, I mean, they are going to be legit scary in this West. Even with all those great teams in there, look at this Lakers second unit. I don't know how well they will fare against this team. Look against the Rockets second unit. I mean, come on now. So even though a lot of these teams in the West are really top heavy, I believe Utah Jazz are probably the best, the second best all-around team in the West. The only team I think can really compete with them top to bottom is the Denver Nuggets. So expect either Utah or Denver to have the best record in the West next year. Now, in the playoffs, of course, it's a different story. It's a different story in the playoffs just because players can really push themselves. LeBron can play 40 minutes. AD can play 40 minutes. Harden and Westbrook can play 40 minutes. So in the playoffs, I think they can definitely make the second round and maybe even push to the conference finals. But can they truly win a title? Time will tell. And as the season progresses on, if they have good chemistry, they're going to be hard to beat just because they have so many shooters and so many players that know their role. They're going to be truly a tough team to beat. And if fully healthy, I mean, it will be good. Now, I can't say definitely. I've already kind of said that I believe the Clippers are going to win. But if one or two injuries happen, I don't know. Anything. I mean, the Utah Jazz right now, anything could happen next year. So I'm going to say they are a contender. They are a title contender without a doubt. Quinn Snyder knows what he's doing. He's done great these past few years. It seems like his team changes every year, a little bit different. He had Gordon Hayward, and now he left, and then they didn't even drop off. They truly got better. So, I mean, so many changes from that Utah team and organization. They just keep figuring out a way to win, and it's really honorable. They don't get as much credit as they deserve. You see the San Antonio Spurs get a lot of that credit of, they come out every year and they say we're going to win. There's no falling down to the lottery. There's no tanking. And honestly, a team that represents that just as good as San Antonio is the Utah Jazz. So I believe they are a title contender next year, so let me know what you think in the comments. I hope you have a great day, and thanks for watching.